If you are looking to get a food product into Amazon's FBA program and you want them to fulfill the order for you, I'm going to give you 5 food products that are fantastic and they work well, and the 5 that I would highly recommend you stay away from. And we're going to get into that right now. It's Damien from Marketing Food Online, and I'm going to give you a great idea of 5 food products that work fantastic with Amazon's FBA product. And that is actually fulfillment by Amazon. That is a service where you send a product to Amazon's warehouse. They fulfill the order, take care of the customer service, ship it, and handle everything on the back end of the order. And all you do is you produce your product and ship it to them, put it in their warehouse, and keep replenishing it. Basically, it's a very, very simple process, but it's worked really well for us. We are now up to, I think it's around 80 to 90 products, and there are a lot of different candies and snacks and things of that sort. So I'm actually going to go over 5 really quick items that make for really good FBA product, but there's also some that really don't, and I've actually learned this the hard way by sending some products into Amazon, and they didn't work out all that well. So let's jump right into it. And before we do, as always, if you are not a subscriber, hit that magical, subscriber button. Over 580 videos to help you get your food business up and running. And as always, we upload videos now. We are on a daily schedule. So hit the notification bell. And as always, when I upload, you'll get to see a brand new video. So we are actually in my YouTube studio. I have a handful of, I don't know if you know this, but aside from what I do here, I do also kids channels with my son. We have close to, I don't know, about 12 million or so views on that channel. But we do a lot of kids stuff, kids videos. So you see all that stuff at the back. There's a lot of toys and other things. So we are in the studio here, and thought I'd do this video really quick. All right, so 5 of the best. Let's get right to the good ones, and then we'll get to the bad ones. So there is actually a kind of a method to having a really good food product in Amazon FBA. As I mentioned in the opening, there's not always a good one. Every single one does not make for a great one. And that could be because of the packaging, the temperature, the handling. And I'm going to go down the 5 that are great. They last long because they either have a long shelf life. They can be packaged so they can be handled. It gets a little rugged and a little tough in that warehouse when they start pulling products and packaging it and working very quickly. So it gets handled. Your product will get handled pretty aggressively, let's say. But if you have it and it's a possible item that's temperature sensitive or breaks, or it's not really easy to work with when it's being handled, it can cause a big, big problem, okay? And I've had that happen with a lot of, when I first started FBA, I didn't know about those particular things in regards to handling food. So I kind of learned the hard way, but it was good. I'm glad I learned it because now I can give the information to you guys. Okay, so number 1, what makes a good food product for Amazon FBA? Nuts. Right off the bat, if you make any type of seasoned nut, a nut is something that can be put into a bag and can be handled kind of aggressively, and it's not going to damage the product. Plus, it won't hinder the quality of the product, okay? So it's not only the way that the product gets delivered as far as being in shape and not broken, but it's also the quality of the product inside the packaging. So nuts of any kind really, really work well. I highly recommend you use some type of a 5 mil, it's called a 5 mil polypropylene bag. Bags are better than canisters or heavier items because Amazon FBA charges you a fee based on size, based on weight, based on the duration that it's actually in inventory. There's a lot of factors that actually, I'm not going to get into that particularly in this video, but there's a lot of factors that determine how much you're going to get charged because they do charge you a fee. Bags are lightweight. They don't weigh much. They're not going to weigh down your product. They're not going to charge you more money because of the weight of a can or a glass jar or a plastic container. Don't do that. I would recommend you not. Okay, nuts are great. Tea. If you're into making your own teas or you want to start a tea business or something to that effect, teas are great. Why are they great, Damien? Because they're in small package size, they don't weigh much at all, and they're easily can be handled, and they have a long shelf life, actually a really long shelf life. So dried teas in general are fantastic. Definitely recommend teas. If you are in a tea business and you want to be on Amazon, you've got a quality product, you're golden. You're going to have a great, great product. Next one up is kind of a company to tea, but coffee. Coffee, if you're into making coffee, that is another one that can be put into a warehouse where the temperature is not going to really truly affect it, can sit there for a very long time. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so yes, coffee is another great one because of the fact that it has a long shelf life. And normally the temperature in the warehouse itself will not affect coffee at all. And there's a lot of different ways you can package coffee where you don't have to go to a pound or go so high up, because anything over a pound when you're dealing with FBA, you put yourself in a whole nother fee bracket. So if you can keep your bags, if you're doing coffee or maybe you're roasting, you're starting out something small, Amazon is a great platform for you to take that small coffee business and take a huge jump forward in sales just because of the fact that you're reaching millions of customers. So now, next one up is spices. I am a huge fan of spices, obviously myself, but of the spice business, it is a huge lucrative product because it is so cheap in bulk to get. When you break it down, the margins are astronomical. McCormick Spice Company, for instance, is one of the most profitable spice businesses on the planet. But the thing with spices is that it can be open for anyone, especially when you're dealing with Amazon FBA. Putting a product like a spice in there is something that's lightweight, has a huge shelf life, okay? And also is not a huge temperature issue. It will not affect the product of the quality of the product being in that warehouse. So spices is something that I would highly recommend you check into and look at the possibilities, because they can be packaged very lightweight, and the fees to fulfill that are extremely small in comparison to other products that you can FBA. Next up and lastly, that makes a great product and is a popular one, and people are always looking for variations, granola. Granola. If you are looking to start a granola business, geared towards athletics or something endurance racers or camping, the demographic for this product is huge. The people who love granola is gigantic. And it's something that can traditionally be put into a warehouse and not affect the quality of the product. And you can package it at a very lightweight size, making it even more accessible to more people. And it is a fantastic product for FBA. So now the good side, or the bad side. The bad items that I would highly recommend you not do if you're looking to get into Amazon FBA is, number one, chocolate. Anything chocolate related, I would say no. I actually have a lot of products on Amazon that I fulfill and I make to order only, and I pack it with ice and ship it, and it's chocolate related, good to go. When you take a chocolate product and you put it into one of their warehouses, the handling of it is something that's really, like I said before, very aggressive, and being moved around and tampered with, as well as the temperature within the warehouse is not conducive, is not a benefit to anything chocolate related. Now, you might be thinking, well, Damien, I've been to Amazon and I see there's chocolate covered Oreos, there's chocolate this and chocolate that. But if you want to, take a look at the feedback. I did a little research on this. I was looking to actually send a chocolate product like pretzels and Oreos myself into Amazon. I saw the feedback on multiple products related to chocolate, and it was not favorable. A lot of people said this was melted, it was crumbled, it was crushed, it was broken. Don't do that to yourself. If you're in the chocolate business, you want to fulfill your own orders, that's great and that's different. Don't send it into Amazon FBA. Heavy items. Now, if you are producing, let's say, a soda, and you want to get your product out there and you want to get your product into Amazon FBA, and it's a soda that's in a glass bottle, maybe even plastic, and it's a 6-pack, 12-pack, 24-pack, and you're like, hey, I'm going to send it out to FBA, the size, the weight, and everything else involved with that is going to eat you up with fees. So if it's a heavy food product, anything that I personally would say over 2 pounds or even 3 pounds, anything above those weights, I would highly recommend you not do. Now, you can do whatever you wish to do. You can test it out. If you have a very high price point and you're able to absorb those fees, knock yourself out. But I would highly recommend you kind of stay away from that and just fulfill that order yourself, because the fulfillment fee will be very, very expensive. Now, oversized food products. What does that mean? Well, let's say, for instance, you made granola. Okay, and granola sounds good, but you have a 6 or 7 1-pound bag family pack, or it's like 5 or 6 pounds of a food product. Again, unless that your retail price point is very high, that is going to allow you to make a margin, those heavy, oversized products actually raise the amount of the fee because of the size. Because as I mentioned in the opening video, whenever you're dealing with FBA, it's weight, it's size, it's also the duration that it's in the inventory. Those factors are crucial and very, very important to how much you're paying for those fees. So if it's an oversized jumbo box, it's going to eat you up, okay? And again, if you're able to create some type of retail price point that's beneficial for you, do it. But I haven't seen many food products that would actually fall in that category. Now, candy or anything that's temperature sensitive. Okay, so as I mentioned with the chocolate, candy is also like gummy bears, things that can melt, that are temperature sensitive, that are not chocolate, M&Ms or even Skittles, and you're talking about candies and gummies, chewing gums and things. There's a lot of people that do sell these things on Amazon, but again, I would recommend you go take a look at the feedback and see what happens when you've got a 5 pound or 1 pound or half a pound bag of gummies sitting in the warehouse for a long period of time, melting, and melting. To my knowledge, I have never heard of Amazon FBA actually adding ice packs to products. If that is a service that they do have, please let me know, because I actually have never heard of that. So if you're shipping a product that could melt in transit, like gummies or candies, you're looking at a product that could be horrible when it arrives to your customer. So candies that can melt, temperature sensitive, don't do it. Lastly, breakable food products. Breakable like what? What does that mean? Pretzels. If you're doing chocolate covered pretzel rods, I actually have seen multiple companies that send in these little canisters of chocolate pretzel rods. And again, take a look at the feedback. They're broken. They handle the package very aggressively. So if it's a pretzel, if it's chips that you don't want to arrive in crumbs to the customer, anything that can be squished, grabbed, crushed, or anything of that effect that's food related, I would highly recommend you stay away from. So keep it short and sweet as always. Those are the 5 goods and the 5 bads, and that kind of just gives you an idea, or at least an understanding also of what type of handling and how the temperature is in the warehouse and all of that. So if you're looking to do Amazon FBA for food, definitely a good thing to do. Keep in mind, though, those different factors, what I just listed off of my handy-dandy little list, and try to stay away from those and keep going towards the ones that make really good FBA products. So as always, if that helps you out, please do give me a big thumbs up, and I will see you guys on my next video. And if you have any friends or family who can benefit from my channel, please do give me a link, send it, and share it, and I appreciate it. Thanks.